Well, are you ready, Fox? Shockwave? Hot rod?
Oh, hell yeah!
Well, all right then! Let's go!
It's been getting so hard, living with the things you do to me. My dreams are getting so strange, I'd like to tell you everything I see.
I see a man in the back, as a matter of fact, and his eyes as red as the sun. And a girl in the corner that no one ignore, cause she thinks she's the passionate one. Oh, yeah! It was like lightning! Everybody was frightening! And the music was soothing! And they all started grooving! Yeah! And the man in the back said everyone attack, and it turned into a ballroom blitz. And the girl in the corner said, boy, what a morning, and it'll turn into a ballroom blitz. Ballroom blitz. Ballroom blitz. Ballroom blitz. Ballroom blitz.
Oh, reaching out for something, touching nothing's all I ever do. I softly call you over, when you appear there's nothing left to you.
And the man in the back is ready to crack as he raises his hand to the sky. And the girl in the corner is everyone's monitor. She could kill you with the wink of her eye. Oh, yeah, it was electric. So frantically hectic. And the band started leaving. Cause you won't stop bleeding. Yeah. And the man in the back said everyone attack, and it turned into a ballroom blitz. And the girl in the corner said, boy, I wanna warn you, it'll turn into a ballroom blitz. Ballroom blitz. Everybody was frightening, and the music was soothing, and they all started grooving. And the man on the back said everyone attack, and it turned to a ballroom blitz. And the girl in the corner said, boy, I wanna warn you, it'll turn into a ballroom blitz. Ballroom blitz. Ballroom blitz. Ballroom blitz. Ballroom blitz. It's a ballroom blitz. It's a ballroom blitz. It's a ballroom blitz. Yeah, it's a ballroom blitz.
All right, excellent.
Excellent. Excellent.
Excellent.
All right.
And hello, everybody. Welcome once again to the Devil's Hour. My name is Geoff with a G, and for the next, hour or so, we'll be showcasing the weird, the wild, and the wonderful, all for you. How's everybody doing? We doing good? I'm doing all right. It's an interesting time we're living in, isn't it? I'm changing the format, at least this episode, what's going on. Normally I do some dumb jokes about the news, but I want to actually like honestly, earnestly talk about something for a minute, and then we'll move on for the dumb parts of the show later. So, as everybody aware, there was that leaked memo concerning from the Supreme Court concerning the very distinct possibility of turning over Roe versus Wade by asshats. Judge Alito is the one notes were leaked. So, cis white dude, I'm not really cis, but white dude. Me espousing my opinion about it doesn't help the cause, or rather, it's just other than making sure my voice is lent towards the people who need body autonomy, and so which I do, I support, and this is why. So my stuff is anecdotal. That's how it works. But that's how it works. This is why I support. So when I was like 24, 25, somewhere in that age, I was very much in love with somebody, like going to get married in love. That's how far it was, and discovered that, and like we were already engaged to be married. Let me preface this, and she turns out got pregnant. Um, for her and her family, they said they got the one do over, was what she called this. This is her words, not mine. So she had an abortion in the past, and so she felt she had the one. She had to have it again. Couldn't have this one. Of which, for myself, who at the time did want kids. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love kids, but I was still in support of whatever she wanted to do because that's how that works. Uh, After so much soul searching, her talking to her family, stuff like that, she opted not to have the child. So we went and did the procedure. I drove her to and from, laid with her afterwards to cuddle and stuff like that and take care of her, and that's how it works. Not, I never once issued my dissent on having of her not wanting her wanting to do it. So the moment she said she wasn't going to do it, I supported her 110%. I could have probably convinced her otherwise if I mean, at the time I did want kids, uh, but her choice is more important. That's on that in that matter, and like what she wanted was more important because in the end, it's her having to deal with her own body and things like that because that's how that works. And up until there's actually brain activity, there's not really anything there other than just a mass of cells. I mean, if we want to argue the idea of not wanting to kill anything that's alive in somebody's body, then cancer treatment and whatnot, even things like tapeworms and parasites. Technically, that's how it works. I find it interesting that people that are pro-life are also pro-hunting, pro-guns, pro-death penalty, which I think is really weird. But that's just me. Um, my second anecdote I want to talk about. Its fact is, by the way, we didn't get married, chose to have different lives, still friends, really great person. But anyways, fast forward a few years later, I was I started dating who was going to be who would later be my wife, Heather, who you guys are aware of my journey with that. When we first started dating early on, we had a discussion about kids because she had a genetic disease that got worse with every generation, and she could not bear the idea of having a child have a worse off childhood when dealing with that than she did. So no kids. And I once again said, yeah, I loved her. And birth kids isn't, we talked about possibly maybe adopting later on once we get to something like that, which was perfectly fine with me. I mean, I didn't need, my thing for kids was never about the genetic spreading of the seed, which I think is really weird and antiquated. Um, I mean, it's survival of the fit. I mean, it's genetic. Genetic levels as animals want to propagate and spread our seed. Don't get me wrong, but in a lot of ways, we've also evolved beyond that, a bit more selective. So once again, not have kids. Because with her non disease get worse every generation because of what disease she currently had. She had at best a 25% chance of survival, and that's if the moment she found out she was pregnant, she stayed on complete bed rest for what 7, 8 months with constant doctor's visits. I mean, like monthly initially, and then up to almost weekly as we got closer to make sure she was okay and the child was. That's how that's how that's how crazy it was. So yeah, chose not to, and unfortunately, we never got to have kids, even adoption. We were close to doing adopting, and then she fell ill and discovered she had another fun disease that most people aren't aware of, um, that they have. It's antiphospholipid syndrome, which basically means you clot really well. And weirdly enough, most people figure out they have it is childbirth. Women discover they have it and can be treated for it because that's you're in the hospital like a like that. Men, chances are don't. They'll just one day blood clot will hit heart, lungs, or head, and it can be gone. Anyways, enough of that stuff. But anyway, as I said, that's my opinions about that sort of stuff. I think body autonomy is important, and nothing's going to change that. The idea of that life begins at conception is also a very antiquated notion. Um, the idea, it really comes down to the idea of personhood, and personhood, I think, comes down more to the fact is that it's more about brain activity than it is about a quote unquote heartbeat, which is also just an assisted. That's not even truly a heartbeat. That's a collection of cells that's being assisted by an outside organism of which to throw blood through. It is not an independent thing at that point in time. Versus a brain activity thing does denote something that's unassisted. So I'm of the opinion that even in the thought of even if you consider even if you want to even entertain the notion, which I don't believe we should entertain the notion, uh, it's all about brain activity at the very least. Um, and then other things like ectopic pregnancies are always fatal. And best case scenario is the woman loses fallopian tube and gets less fertile, which is always great. Um, but that's the other thing about the denial is those sort of pregnancies too, which isn't great. So all I have to say is to even begin arguing about where life begins, you need to have brain activity, and even then, I'm still of the opinion that until it's still ultimately the choice of the we'll use woman in this case, although there are non-binary and trans people who can also get pregnant. But I'm just for ease of language. It's all about ease of language for this. It's not about diminishing anybody's identity. It's just ease of language because then it just makes it quicker. So anybody might be watching this and go, there's also yes, I'm aware. Ease of language is all it is. That's what a lot of times I think people forget, which I'm not going to get on the idea of language and stuff like that. But so in the end, it's ultimately the choice of I can't say carrier because that sounds really impersonal either. So once again, just woman for ease of language because we all know what that means. So it's still ultimately her decision. So her body, her choice. Your body, your choice. In the end, it's actually is your body, your choice. As long as whatever you're doing does not affect someone else, you should have complete autonomy. Once what you are doing affects other people, that's where the conversation comes into play as far as where things are socially regulatory. So, like, like the whole COVID thing, people go, "It's my body, my choice." I go, yeah, but what you're doing will affect other people. That's when that becomes someone else. That's why the things are in places to make sure that doesn't happen. Versus something that's very well self-contained, that's on you. You want to take drugs, cool, as long as they stay here. The moment you blow them out into the world, like cigarettes and whatnot, that's where differences of opinion because no longer you're now imposing your stuff onto someone else. Yeah. Anyways, That's what I have to say about that. Let's just watch something funny, all right?
These penguins are all heading to the open water to the right. But one of them caught our eye, the one in the center. He would neither go towards the feeding grounds at the edge of the ice, nor return to the colony. Shortly afterwards, we saw him heading straight towards the mountains, some 70 kilometers away. Dr. Ainley explained that even if he caught him and brought him back to the colony, he would immediately head right back for the mountains. But why? One of these disoriented or deranged penguins showed up at the New Harbor diving camp, already some 80 kilometers away from where it should be. The rules for the humans are: do not disturb or hold up the penguin. Stand still and let him go on his way. And here he's heading off into the interior of the vast continent. With 5,000 kilometers ahead of him, he's heading towards certain death.
Yeah, I I don't know. I just found that weirdly common or something like that. Anyway, that's a nice downer to add upon my conversation. I don't know, we'll make it up later. Anyway, we've got a great show today. We've got Lexis Yelis, Lucy Buttons, Night Spins, and all sorts of other fun shenanigans. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. How we doing? We doing all right over there? Awesome. Let's talk about our first guest, shall we? So Lexis Yelis is no stranger to adversity. This East Coast queen has been taking over the music industry from backstage for years. Years. She actually got her start in theater with with the creation of Panic, the musical. That's right, Panic at the Disco musical, which allowed her to segue into the music industry as like a ghostwriter and a collaborator. She'd been doing. Then in 2019, Lexis was diagnosed with a rare form of T-cell lymphoma, and that from that diagnosis, she decided just to jump on, be at the front and foremost, and be on stage. You know, like that life's too short. Let's jump ahead. I can understand this. Now, working with one of our Double Hour alumnus and her now husband, I Am Couchsurf, she has crafted a great tune called, who's right, Between My Thighs, which is a song about them because when they got together, because of what was going on with her body and disease and stuff like that, they couldn't be intimate. And so this was kind of like a call to action, or a call, like basically, or a love letter, or about the frustration or whatever. So anyways, here we go. Lexis Yelis, Between My Thighs. Check it out.
All I want is you up on me. You got the baddest
jump on top. I can't wait to get you home. Can't wait to get you alone. Can't wait to make you moan. We'll both be getting stoned. We'll be getting stoned. I know you're only right for the night. I can't fight it. Can't wait for you to say it's so tight, girl. I'm trying. Your head between my thighs and I can't even hide it. I'd give it to you right, baby. I will be riding you, riding you, riding you. Yeah.
All I want is you up on me. You got the baddest body. We made out in the lobby. Got everybody gawking, popping, looking on my cocking. It's getting hot as fucking. I'm getting close to dropping. So girl, let's cut the talking. Can't wait to get you home. Can't wait to get you alone. Can't wait to hear you moan. We'll both be getting stoned. We'll be getting stoned.
Taking off our clothes. We're the only ones that have to know. Baby, let's turn off our phones. Babe, my mind's been blowing. I know you're only right for the night. I can't fight it. Can't wait for you to say it's so tight, girl. I'm trying. Your head between my thighs and I can't even hide it. I'd give it to you right, baby. I will be riding you, riding you, riding you.
Ricky, it's your line. The fuck you talking? It's your line. You're supposed to ask me how the fucking tacos were.
I thought you said that.
No, you just.
Oh, hey, man. How the fuck were those tacos last night?
Actually, you know what? The tacos were pretty good, but you know they weren't hot enough.
Ah, fuck.
Weren't hot enough? Oh, you need green bastard hot sauce for your tacos and all your food. Oh, yeah.
You've got your own fucking hot sauce?
Bob's, who's Bob's? Green bastard parts unknown.
It's nice, Bubs.
Give it a try, Ricky.
Holy fuck, man. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
You should be selling this shit. We should do a commercial for this. Not for tacos.
Holy fuck, Ricky.
We are doing a commercial for
It's
this,
fucking
Ricky.
good.
Green bastard hot sauce. It'll fucking crank you one. Oh, yeah.
Wasn't that hot? And I mean both the Lexis Yelis track and, of course, Coney Island Saucery's Green Bastard Sauce. No, it's a really cool song. And they just Lexis and Couch Church just recently started their own boutique label in Atlanta called Hollow Records. So you'll be seeing more stuff from them and what collaborations they can do together. So yeah. Anyways, you guys know I like showcasing the weird, the wild, and the wonderful right here on the channel, and short films are by no means an exception. And my love of short films knows no bounds. I went to school for theater and film, so I love me some movies. Yeah. So here we go. Let's check out this really cool film from the 24-Hour Film Festival. It's going to be dope. Here you go. Lost Time.
Joel?
Rocky?
What are you doing here?
Well, I can't come see my baby sis?
Well, a call would have been nice.
Well, then I try to surprise you.
Well, now's not a good time. I'm working.
On what?
I'm redesigning the house for the new owners.
Oh. Okay, so this was you. Why? I mean, what was wrong with it before? Okay. Listen, I was thinking maybe we could go out, get some food, catch up. I don't know, maybe get some dinner or something like that, movie. Hey, what's this? Is this Mom and Dad's old stuff?
Yeah, some of it's donations, some of it's trash.
Trash? You think all this is trash? You think Dad's saxophone is trash? Are you stupid?
Well, maybe if you went to the funeral and maybe if you acted like you were a part of this family, you would have more of a say.
Raquel? I was in the hospital. What do you want me to say here? So what, I'm gone a couple of months and now all of a sudden I'm not a part of the family?
You were released from the hospital months before the funeral. And even before that, we hadn't seen you in years. You didn't call. You didn't let us come visit you at the hospital. You did this.
I'm here now, aren't I? Okay? How about a hug,
You
Rocky?
know what? You know
How
what?
about-
It was really nice to see you, Joel.
You don't want me here? Okay. Mom would have been proud on that one.
How would you know? You weren't here. I was here. I was here taking care of Mom. I was the one who had to watch her die. Raquel Falk Designs. Oh, yes. Hi. I will email you those designs by 5 p.m. tonight. No, yeah, it's good. Okay.
I'm sorry, but I can't go. I can't let you throw these things out. They're not trash. It's memories.
No,
okay?
it's
Memories.
trash.
It's not trash. They're memories. And I
No,
need.
you can't just come in here and take whatever you want.
These things are mine too.
No,
so I
listen,
think
you weren't here, so you can't. Joel, let me.
Don't touch me.
Joel. Let me see it. Do you remember that weird song Dad used to sing to us before dinner? Wash, wash, wash your hands. Did you wash your hands? It's time to eat. Don't wash your feet. You gotta wash your hands.
Thanks.
Hi, Boobdini here. Are you bored in the house and in the house bored? Well, we have the answer for you. It's the brand new burlesque deck. It will help you play with yourself while you're home alone.
Solitaire has never been this sexy. Ooh, Miss Orchid May goes right on top of Simone Del Mar.
Bored playing with yourself? Play with others.
Zoom has never been this much fun.
2, 3, war! Ooh, I have a scene now just slightly by Simone Del Mar. Yay! Hanky-panky. Not only do you get these 52 amazing playing cards, but we've included this, a cheat sheet of who the 26 performers are. Buy yourself a deck today. Cure the boredom at burlesquedeck.com.
Wasn't that a nice film? What I like about that sort of film and these things in general, because a lot of times I watch them for different reasons, and that one, the acting of the woman who plays Rocky, Raquel, is what I really liked about that film. So yeah, and it's things to think about. Anyway, let's talk about our next guest. I did not attend this. Anyway, no, I'm not going to get into it. Anyway, let's talk about our next guest, shall we? So, Lucy Buttons exploded onto the burlesque stage over a decade ago, instantly becoming a headliner and a force to be reckoned with. Her award-winning signature style has been featured in film, television, and magazines, solidifying her as a New York club legend. She's the executive producer of I Love Burlesque, right here in New York City, which includes such shows as Places at the Dromedary Bar, Amor Loco, Freddy's Bar and Back Room, my home bar, amongst others. In fact, she's just about to do a show called. She has her monthly show at Freddy's is actually called The New D Show, which features new performers and new acts of said performers. So it's kind of cool and dope. She also has a really cool podcast, which she calls Parade of Dicks, which is all about her dating life. And it's a lot of fun. So definitely check it out. But until you can, check this out.
Yeah, please put your hands together for the incredible Lucy Buttons! By Jimmy Reed. You got me running, got me high. Run, hide, running any way. I've got that fever, man. The temperature outside. The crows don't with slow tempo. These blackbirds never fly. Reach down in your pockets, girl. Show me what you found. My notebook with all my lyrics. Hey, I never claimed to be profound. Show me that tatted sleeve. You gotta thrill me or inspire me. Tell me how you're riding down. Let's go down to New Orleans. Voodoo, I put a spell on me. You do, I make the picture scream. Try to get the image out that you can see.
Sideshow Hootenanny in New Orleans! Yes!
Lucy Buttons, everybody. Wasn't that nice and delectable? So yeah, make sure you check and follow our stuff and subscribe to Parade of Dicks. It's really funny. Anyways, you know what time it is, right? Let's talk a little sideshow history today. So, a lot of times when we talk about sideshow history, there's like this really good modern element to it. And when I mean modern, within the last 200 years or so. Because most people think, a lot of people mistakenly think that the idea of sideshow really only existed since the ages of P.T. Barnum. But the weird thing is, like, the idea of showcasing the weird and the wonderful is far older than that. So I want to talk about Lazarus and Johannes Baptista Calrero. That's not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. There we go. Now, Lazarus and they were actually technically conjoined twins who were born in Genoa, Italy in 1617. The upper body and left leg of Johannes Baptista, who was named after John the Baptist, stuck out of his brother Lazarus. He could not speak. His eyes kept his eyes closed, his mouth open all the time. It's really what we know now as what we call a parasitic twin, which it really just happens as the embryo starts to split but doesn't fully do so, and so it just gets kind of weird and wonky. And as such, starts growing and just lives off the other one, just a growth, for lack of a better term. At an early age, was taunted and mocked, older Lazarus, so he decided to earn a living by exhibiting himself all over Europe during his entire lifetime, hence the idea of this sort of stuff. The parasitic twins toured for more than a decade. And as far as traveling spectacles go, the pair were somewhat unusual in that Lazarus was both a showman and the show. Contemporary accounts described Lazarus being courteous, handsome, and intelligent, always with the deportment of that, always as a gentleman. So it was just, oh, hello, how are you doing? When Lazarus wasn't exhibiting himself, he actually covered his brother with a cloak to avoid unnecessary attention, and he also employed two assistants as well dressed as himself, one of whom would sound a trumpet to indicate the start of a viewing, and the other to collect money from the spectators. So, had a whole routine. On tour, he also carried a portrait of himself and his parasitic twin, and he would hang outside his lodgings as an advertisement. Accounts of anatomists and physicians who visited the brothers confirmed that his Consciousness had been very minimal. He hardly if ever opened his eyes, had faint breathing, and could not speak. His enormous head, gaping mouth, and unkempt blonde beard must have been a very astonishing sight for spectators. Besides this fascination inspired by the appearance and the contrast between Lazarus's genteel affability and intelligence and his twin's shapelessness and speechlessness existence, the conjoined nature of the two actually raised a very interesting legal question. Now, while in France, Lazarus was accosted, by a drunken man who grew abusive and violent towards him, and so Lazarus defended himself, apparently by cracking a bottle of wine over the dude's head. And the dude died. So Lazarus was placed on trial for murder. That's right, a capital crime. And although the case of self-defense was raised, the court refused the petition because the dead man had no weapon, and Lazarus had used a weapon to strike him, and death sentence was pronounced. It was then that a greater question arose. If Lazarus was put to death, it would also kill his conjoined twin. This would result in killing of an innocent man. Lazarus was able actually to produce baptismal records of himself and his brother. So him and his twin got baptized as children. And as one has been baptized, the court had to accept that Jean-Baptiste had a soul in the eyes of the church, and therefore accept the arguments that they could not put him to death because it would kill an innocent man. So they were freed. Later accounts that Lazarus actually finally married and had children. Now, it's not exactly known when they actually died, because this is 1600s. But the last time they were actually mentioned and talked about in, at least media circles was around 1646. So my guess is they probably retired the countryside and lived until the 1660s or something. I don't know. But anyway, interesting, right? Once again, 1600s, even then, this stuff has been happening as far as displaying the weird, the wild, and the wonderful. So, weird, the wild, and the wonderful. So, and there are other stuff that haven't even date back farther. I don't know, I'll get into that at some point on the show. One of the later episodes, anyways. So, yeah. So, Lazarus, Colorado, everybody. And we'll be right back.
Is your bar looking a little ordinary? Is it lacking something awesome? Well, head out to your local liquor store and pick up something extraordinary. Grab a bottle of Old Humble Straight Whiskey or Old Humble Special Reserve. They're clean, smooth, easy drinking whiskeys that taste the way whiskey should taste. From humble beginnings to an extraordinary finish, Old Humble whiskeys are what your bar needs today. Walk tall, be awesome, and drink humble. Old Humble Straight Whiskey and Old Humble Special Reserve. Get yours today.
Alrighty. How are we doing? We doing okay? Alright, so next up I want to talk about somebody I actually had done the show a while ago. This is the portion where I like to showcase acts I'd had on in the past, back when I was on Twitch, early on in the pandemic era. So they still need love. They're still awesome. So I want to make sure they get hyped still. So who I want to talk about is this really great person. He's a producer, he's a songwriter, and he's a rap artist by the name of Gilla, as in guillotine. He's actually known for his esoteric, often sagacious and juxtaposing style and extreme emphasis on percussion. He's actually really cool to see live. I've seen him a couple times live, and he is a fucking nerd. And he wears it on his sleeve. So much so that often he and his DJ would actually sometimes stop a show so they can battle on Pokemon Go. I've seen this happen. In fact, even so much so that he actually, even during the middle of the show, he'll actually sing the theme song to Pokemon. That's how big of a fan he is. So he's got a new record he's going to be releasing soon, but he hasn't released a video yet, so I'm going to showcase this cool old video, which I really like a lot. So here's God Mode by Gilla. Enjoy.
jitsu. Yeah, way to make moves. Yeah, try and get the guap back. Ooh, yeah, I'ma make moves. Yeah, this pill got mode. Ooh, yeah, got me in the mood. Yeah, this pill got mode. Ooh, yeah, got me in the mood. I am a god, I am the one, I am the earth, moon and the sun. Iron fist nigga with a fire fist nigga. If you talking shit, I'm a higher hits nigga. And we never miss like a dire hit nigga. You a good boy, you a quiet bitch nigga. Tell me what's up. Word to your mother, middle finger to a cut. Tied to the jitsu, the way that shit hits you, Girl, what's the issue? Tell me what's the issue. This'll uplift you, buy a little strumpet, I'ma eat it like a crumpet. Ass witchcraft, make a nigga dick summit. Pull up on the scene like an action flick. Fuck a goody two shoes, I want a ratchet bitch. Now understand potential, yo, I'm not from this dimension, yo. Your mind is one dimensional, my mind is one perfectional entity, blood of a deity, love of a worshipping mortal, gives me oral every sunrise. Tied to the jitsu, yeah, way to make moves. If I don't get the guap back, I'ma make moves. Yeah, this pill got mode. Ooh, yeah, got me in the mood. Yeah, this pill got mode. Ooh, yeah, got me in the mood. Yeah, tied to the jitsu. Yeah, way to make moves. Yeah, if I don't get the guap back. Ooh, yeah, I'ma make moves. Yeah, this pill got mode. Ooh, yeah, got me in the mood. Yeah, this pill got mode. Ooh, yeah, got me in the mood. Bitch, I live guillotine. Bitch, I'm dying guillotine. Bitch, I live guillotine. Bitch, I'm dying guillotine. Yeah, word of Shaq West on my way to the chat. Call me Denzel, you can miss me with the threats. You ain't fucking with a noob, you fucking with a vet. Shall I smite D with a round of attack like? Girl so bad, baby, tap to my dick, please tell me why you would fuck with a dickweed. Girl so bad, baby, tap to my dick, please tell me why you would fuck with a dickweed. Girl so bad, baby, tap to my dick, please tell me why you would fuck with a dickweed. Girl so bad, baby, tap to my dick, please tell me why you would fuck with a dickweed. Yeah, tied to the jitsu. Yeah, way to make moves. Yeah, if I don't get the guap back, I'ma make moves. Yeah, this pill got mode. Ooh, yeah, got me in the mood. Yeah, this pill got mode. Ooh, yeah, got me in the mood. Yeah, tied to the jitsu. Yeah, way to make moves. Yeah, if I don't get the guap back. Ooh, yeah, I'ma make moves. Yeah, this pill got mode. Ooh, yeah, got me in the mood. Yeah, this pill got mode. Ooh, yeah, got me in the mood.
Yo, everybody, wasn't that a lot of fun? I thought it was. Um, Anyways, are we doing all right? I hope so. I like checking in on everybody. So there we go. I bleached my hair out again because I like this is my base. So I may dye it another color, I may not. I may just leave it as it is. Who knows? Check this space to find out what's going on. Anyway, so let's talk about our next guest, shall we? So as I was like perusing through the internet, YouTube specifically, and there's this thing called No Cover that Sumerian Records are releasing, which basically it's like the idea is like unsigned bands doing an original tunes, in which I love to hear new stuff anyways, so that's how I always work. And I like the judges for this competition is insane, like Alice Cooper, Lizzie Hale, Gavin Rossdale, etc., etc. It's amazing. And the bands on there are really cool. And weirdly enough know two of the bands that are on there, one of which I've showcased already on here already. Actually, I think I've showcased both of them. Showcased one really early on, and then this one I showed this past season. which is weird. But but the reason I watch these sort of shows and keep like that because I get to discover new music because I like discovering new music, and so I discovered this band who's actually out of Brooklyn. So it's pretty cool. So let's talk about Night Spins. Night Spins are this garage pop band laced with that New York City grit, dark humor, and rock and roll attitude. Calling upon their experience working at burlesque clubs, circus shows, and raunchy variety clubs all across NYC, this four-piece band melds its theatrical background with influences like Iggy Pop, Modest Mouse, and David Byrne for an unrivaled and must-see display of contemporary showmanship. Yeah. And you can definitely hear it on this track, which is called the track called Dirty Feeling. So here we go. Night Spins. Dirty Feeling, everybody.
Dirty feeling, it's got me carrying weight. Thought I had it, I had a love in the bank. This dirty feeling, it's got me carrying weight. You won't believe it, I think she put on a spell. Should've seen it, she had me thirsty as hell. You won't believe it, I think she put on a spell. You won't believe it, you won't believe it. You won't believe it, you should've seen it. Right off the bat, I wasn't asking, I was pleading. I don't have to be right. Don't tell me I'm wrong. I like what I like. I want you to come home. I want you to come home.
Vaude Visuals Press is proud to announce the publication of Don't Miss This. Over 200 stunning photographs document the last decade of eccentric performing arts in America. This beautiful hardcover book features the finest theatrical clowns, sideshow performers, burlesque stars, and alternative variety acts from New York City and beyond. Photography by Jim R. Moore. Don't Miss This is a limited edition, so buy now before it disappears. Purchase at vvpress.com.
Night Spins, everybody. Wasn't that such a dope song? Yeah, definitely check out more of their stuff. I started deep diving into their stuff. That was just happened to be their latest video. But it's really good. I really like them a lot. So I can't wait. I think they're going to be, hopefully I'll get to see something. They do something new soon, at least here. I don't know. Did we have a good time? I had a good time. Thank you guys for being part of the show. Thank you for liking and subscribing to the channel. I greatly appreciate it as well. What I've got my live show tomorrow, this week. And so that'll be a lot of fun and whatnot. I've got another shows later in the month as well. So yeah. Anyways, let's give some big thanks to everybody. First, who should we thank first? Let's thank Lexis Yelis. You follow them on Instagram at Lexis Yelis, or go to iamcouchsurf.com. Keep track of all her amazing music, and Couchsurf's amazing music as well. Her husband's. Who else shall we thank? Let's thank Lucy Buttons. You can follow her on Instagram at Miss Lucy Buttons, and then go to www.lucybuttons.com. Keep track of all of her stuff going on, whether it's live shows, podcast Parade of Dicks, and whatever other fun shenanigans that she might be getting into. Who knows? And who else should we thank? Let's thank Night Spins, of course. You can follow them on Instagram at Night Spins, and go to www.nightspins.com to keep track as far as what they're going on with their new music and hopefully touring soon. Yeah. And last, let's give a good old-fashioned retro thanks to Gilla, who you can follow on Instagram at Gilla713. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. So big thanks to you. It's dope. It's fun. And you guys have a great time. I'll see you next week. And as always, keep drinking, everybody. Bye.